Hi everyone, Lolly here. Today I'm going to do my first craft room walkthrough. So it's nothing fancy, but I thought I'd share it with you guys since I'm always saying I'm working on or cleaning my craft room. I thought I'd show you guys around a little bit. So let's walk down the hall and let me show you guys. So it's not completely done and you can tell something didn't quite make it back in the room, but this is it. It is a work in progress all of the time. I moved here last June and I have changed out the shelves. I've rearranged so many times trying to get myself situated here. So let me see. So hanging on the door here is a project. I'm going to alter a composition book. So that's hanging there so I can remind myself. But this shelf right here is for books. My daughter had it in their kids' room and I didn't have books to put in it, but I put the paints in there and it worked perfectly. So that's where I have the paints set up there. And then these little jars I just bought not too long ago at Goodwill, but I think they have them at Dollar Tree as well. So I put those up there on the top just to hold bits and pieces that I use frequently. I don't store my things away. I like to have them out, have it open so that I can just reach quickly, especially when I'm doing like a shadow box or something and you're like, oh, I need to grab this real fast. And so you're going to see kind of a mess because I like to have everything out. So this is also my sewing table. The room is not huge, so we're kind of packed in here, but I am grateful to have a separate room because I didn't before. And I apologize. I think I just hit the microphone. This old sewing machine, I have 4 sewing machines now, and a quilting machine, computerized. It just went out not too long ago. And then I have a really nice heavy duty Singer that just came up with an issue not too long ago. And so this one, and I have another old one that work better than all my new ones. So that's what I'm sewing on right now, but it works like a charm. I love it. So this is a little quilt I'm finishing. Just need to put a few more quilting places where I need to do the quilting. So that's almost done. So then this next table used to sit over here at my work table behind it, but it kind of took up the whole room here. This is my book press. Sorry for the shadow. My son made this for me, and if I can show you, when I am making books, then I can tighten this down to press the papers when they're gluing, and I'm waiting for the glue to dry. Super heavy duty. I love it. This handle, you can just like take it around with me wherever I'm working, and I love it. So you personalized the top for me. That was really cute. So yeah, that was a special gift I got from my son, so that was nice. So under here is a really pretty new carpet, and so I've put this rug on top that my daughter gave me to protect the floors. This is my guillotine cutter that I love. I love the sound. And then hiding back here is a tote with just Halloween bits and pieces that I use in my shadow boxes and things like that. So here I keep a little dresser with my Cameo on it and the computer that works it. And then this was for Thrifty Thursday. I haven't got to that yet. These are just stickers and they're so cute, but they're going to go in that composition book that I told you I need to do. It's for a teacher, but they are really super cute. I bought them on Amazon. This is my Rolodex that I have painted, and then all my cards are in here. So those are so fun to do. I love to work on those. This is an IKEA dresser. It belonged to my granddaughter. She got rid of it, and so I moved it in here. And then I just put the stickers on there just so they had a little whimsy in there. So I'm trying not to move too fast. The curtain, I came in here the other night to hang it. The rings that I have were not big enough to go over the curtain rod, so that's kind of temporarily just tied there, but it works. It didn't have anything before. I wanted something, the light comes in through here a lot at certain times of the day, so I didn't want to block that out necessarily, but I wanted something pretty to hang there. So I'm not sure if that's the final decision. It's actually a curtain, a shower curtain. So, but it really lets in all the light and then adds a little bit of pretty there also. And that's my little, that was my very first paper clay project. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see it. So she's hanging up there. Here's scrapbook paper. I'm in there all the time, so I don't like to put it away, but this one and the other tote, you can tell I just don't know how to put them, but that works. So it's not nice and tidy, but it works, so I can just grab it really quick. So, and then this is shelf one. This is one of my very favorite projects. I made him last year, a couple of years ago, and it was a Dollar Tree bat that I covered with sewing pattern paper and lots of ink and lots of Mod Podge, and he is just like my favorite. So he hangs in here. And then up here, I'll show you the top shelf. These are some of my projects. This was given to me by a friend. It's so cute. I just leave it out. My little mermaid back there. If she sees the video, she's gonna laugh because it doesn't normally have a top. But for the video, so I don't offend anybody, I'll put a little top on her. So, but it's beautiful, the little card she made. These are sitting here because I have an upcoming project, so that's what that little messy pile is for. And then there's just projects that I have finished. Some of them need to get into the Etsy shop, but that just takes a lot of time. So here they are. I'm trying to walk slow enough so you don't get dizzy. This is just a clock that I'm going to alter, so it's just hanging out here because it's super cute. And those are just some of the beginning like collage and type things that I have started a couple of years ago when I first started learning all of that. So that's it. And then there's another little Halloween one. And the inside of my light. Every time I make an ETC or a tag, if it doesn't get traded or sent to someone, it hangs here. And then behind here is just, sorry, you know this guy I burned myself with. So there's a book binding set. There's a little table. I use those in my shadow boxes. So I have like doll furniture sitting around. Here's some more boxes that I'm going to use. These cute little suitcases have like hole punches and things like that in there. This has stamp, like the acrylic blocks that you use for stamping, and there's some glass ones in there as well. And then these again are for my projects like the dolls that you saw just a bit ago. I use the lampshade wires and I start my dolls with that. So and then shadow boxes. This box is just thumbtacks. These are just bits and pieces that I have cut either by hand or on the not the Cricut, sorry, the Cuttlebug. And so eventually I'll get them all cut up and finished and put them in the Etsy shop also. This is just I don't know where to put all of you, so you're gonna go in this bucket. This is a puzzle. I have a video. It's a short. It's a puzzle on here. It has a little note on it that you paint over it or ink over it and then put it all back together. And so that's in there. That's paper clay back here. And this is just safety pins. These are just metal washers and things like that for my projects that go in there. So, gosh, there's so much to show you. I don't want to make this too long. So paintbrushes, bits and pieces, brushes. This I normally have on the table if I'm working on a project. It's wire cutters and things like that, so I have it close by and handy. I don't know if you can see back there, but those are markers, crayons, things like that. These were paints that didn't fit on the shelf. And this, I don't know if you can see it, but I collect the lids when you use the can opener to take the lid off. Then I save those and do projects with those as well. These are the screens I made when I make paper. Made those myself out of some bits that I bought at Home Depot. It's supposed to be like kindling or something, or they're just small little square pieces of wood, and I put them together and made my screens. I had an old window screen. So these are books that are waiting to be journals, my Tim Holtz people. And inside here are just cutouts that I use in my projects. And so the bottom shelf is just the scale. This is my bags and things like that when I have an Etsy order. These are cookbooks that are waiting to be journals, a box that I'm altering, just bits and pieces like that. Okay, I'm trying not to swing you around too much. So in this box, or just for more projects, I made their IKEA boxes, and I made the little altar out of one of them. I'll show you the altar here that I made. It's just a little IKEA. My curtain hooks came in it, so it has a little piece of Velcro there. Mostly what you're going to find in here are projects that are in progress and that aren't finished. So back there, it's just bits and pieces of paper and things like that in that plastic bag. This is a book. It's one of those projects where you set it up and then you could tuck cards and things like that in there. So I just painted that, and so I'm waiting to finish that as well. That's just bits and pieces. Lots of bits and pieces. All right, so let's go to the next shelf. This shelf my daughter just gave me. So if there's unfinished projects, Halloween is my favorite, so you'll see a lot of those. And there's an old mantle clock back there waiting to be finished as well. These are all just papers, pieces of cardboard, I don't even know, watercolor paper, stencils, more stencils. This is just a box of old jewelry that I use in my projects. I had a really small shelf before, so I just now put all of this on there, and so it fits much better. Here, if we come over here, you'll see in the closet, it's a mess, so don't look too hard, but it's kind of the overflow. This is where I say I'm going to come in this tote and I'm going to find something that we can make tags with tonight. So that's what that is. That's full of tags and recipe cards and, oh my gosh, you name it, that's in there. This is wood pieces and pieces that I'm going to either make shadow boxes with, that, you know, things like that. So that's what's in here. This little hanging I've had forever, and I keep my just little bits in there in those little, these little containers. And those little containers I bought at Dollar Tree. I don't know if they still have them, but that's where I bought mine at. So, and then all the way down here, the top one is just composition books and little notebooks, things like that, that I alter. This one is just a tote full of envelopes. This is another tote, just paper scraps, and the bottom one is Christmas for projects. And it's anything, beads and stickers, anything Christmas ribbon, that kind of thing is in there. So this is just rolls of paper, interfacing, brown paper, some wallpaper, contact paper. All the rolls are in there. I was making a bow for the front door, and it came out to look like a nursery or a baby shower ribbon, so I took it off. So here, that's a paper clay body that I'm making for a Halloween project. And up here is just, that's a project that I made. I'm a freak about birds, so have that. These are just little antiques that I just bought, as well as this little clock I'm going to alter. It actually has a little pendulum, which is missing, but it actually works. So I'm going to hang something there, probably going to be Halloween-ish. That's a little house that my friend gave me. It's so cute. So, and on this shelf, I just keep, she's going to be a project also, but I just keep little beads and things like that on this shelf. Those are stamps, letter stamps, things like that are in here. These are the tools I use a lot, so they're close by and handy. Some old hinges that I'm going to use in a project as well. And of course the Big Shot. Let's see. So again, I like to keep everything open, and so another hand-me-down from my daughter with these buckets here, and they are perfect. So this is just seam binding, flowers, and then you can see all my different punches here. And again, I don't tuck them away and put them in totes. It's just hard for me. I don't like having to open everything when I use it quite a bit. So, and again, we have a string of all the ATCs and cards hanging there. This is flat backs and little blinging things. This is, again, more hole punches, leather punches, things like that. This is the button bucket that has the little watchman inside of it. If you know from my other videos, my grandson put a little skeleton zombie in there, and so I just left him in there. These are gouache, and this is glue sticks. This is just a bucket of, let me see if I can show you, sorry. Just like floral stems, things like that. Old paintbrushes that I keep. You can make cute little projects out of those. This is a project in the works. Twine, the scissors that have the different edges, clock parts, glass bottles, ribbon, and the bottom one, oh, it's just chipboard. So down here is just chipboard pieces that I use. Up here, these are silverware trays that I bought at IKEA. It was a really big one, and I cut it in 2 pieces so that it fit better on the shelf. These are just more little books that I have. This is my pretty picture here. I love my picture. This was the Valentine banner that I made, so I just have that hanging. This is, gosh, all kinds of ephemera. Just, I used to have it in that little book box. Here are my different, what do you call them, plates for the Big Shot. So those are back there so I can get to them quickly. Again, just more bits of paper. This is all my adhesives in here, so I can get to them quickly when I'm working on a project. These are project pieces, things that are going to be finished eventually. This is going to be a sailboat. I can't wait to do that one. So that's what's in there, just you name it, bits and pieces. Down here, these two have stamps in them. This is lace. This is washi tape and napkins. I don't have a lot of either of those, so they share a spot. This box right here, I don't know if you can see it, is literally paper pieces, sorry, cards, just scraps of things that I pull whenever I'm working on a collage or something like that. This is tea-dyed paper I just finished, a little Cheez-It box that I was going to use for the covers. This is an IKEA shelf, and it has all my ink stamps, things like that, ink pads, I'm sorry, down there, and then some of my watercolor sets and markers, things like that. Okay, so I wanted to turn around without making you dizzy. So here I hang the glue gun here. I just changed everything around, so it's kind of just sitting there because my table's right here. And then this little station, I plug in this so I can watch other YouTubers while I'm working. The phone, the glue guns, you name it, are plugged in here. This little thing, my son bought it, but it is awesome. It holds everything. So I'll show you my table while I'm here. This is such a, I mean, it is nothing fancy, that's for sure. My table was a garden table, and I put the wheels on it, and then I added this top, which actually, if all of this isn't attached, it lifts up so that I can use it like an easel. And then underneath there is storage. very functional, not fancy. Underneath, that little tote fits perfect, and that is metal pieces and things that I use for the dolls that I make. And so I can just grab that stuff when I'm standing here behind the table real quick. And then from this view, you can see the table again. I have a roll of paper that I bought at IKEA, but you could use freezer paper or anything. And I roll it across the table to try to keep the top a little bit neat. I repainted the tabletop recently because it would look so bad in my videos that I had to do something. So glass plate that is a mess right now. I am stamping on fabric right now. So I hadn't done much of that before, but this is the one that I used on my latest slow stitch project. And then phone charger, all that good stuff that you need. This is my light here, but this is actually a clamp that I use in woodworking. But it holds this perfectly, and I just set it up temporarily when I just moved in, but it works perfect. It's good and sturdy. So right now that's in my little filming area and it works perfect. So again, not fancy, but functional. Here I have another shelf. This my son made in junior high. It was stuck on the pantry wall of our other house for years and years. And so when it came to this house, I put it here in my room. He's grown now, and so that's been around for a long time. So this is just glue, texture paste, things like that. And then the bottom shelf is just envelopes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go so fast. And again, that was a little bookshelf, and so it holds all my glues perfectly. That was one of my first. These are my hands that I traced, and I've covered them with a little texture, trying to figure out how I'm going to finish them off completely. And so these are my little fish. I bought these, I think, at Austin Creative Reuse. This was all broken, and so I've tried to retie them and give them new string, but I just love them. They have like a folk art kind of feel to them, and I like to keep them in here. They make me smile. Okay, so I think you've listened to me ramble on for long enough now. But I just wanted to share my room with you. When I'm telling you that I'm working on cleaning out things, this is where I'm doing it. And you can't tell that I cleaned out anything because it's still pretty full. But I like that everything is out where I can reach it, and it's convenient. So just grab something really quick while I'm working here at the table. And so I like that part. But thanks for joining me on my very first craft room walkthrough. Sorry if it turns out a little bit long, but I just wanted to share it with you guys since I hadn't done that before. So thanks for joining me and spending some time with me. Oh, let me show you something. One of the advantages of this bookcase, because my other one had open siding, so here I can put some more of my projects and stick them up here. So they are everywhere. So I'm happy to have another place to put them. I probably need to send some of those off and not have so many, but anyway, that was just a little added bonus for that shelf. All right, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.